are here to learn about getting booked, getting paid, and getting seen. And so hopefully everybody can hear me okay. If you can hear me okay, please put in the chat what city and state you guys are chiming in from. Let me know. And I'm about to share my screen so you guys can see the full presentation on today. And what we are going to be, let me pull this up. Hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah. So let me share my screen real quick. If you are watching on social media, you guys will be able to watch this temporarily. Those who are watching, of course, in the school community, you guys get to watch the whole full thing. And so make sure if you're watching on any social media platform, you just want to go ahead and join into the community. All right, A-Town in the house. Atlanta, Georgia. Awesome. Okay, so let me share my screen. I am testing out, by the way, the school webinar platform. I've never used it, but I think when we're using this platform, you guys are able to unmute and everything. So if that is the case, that is fire. That is the case, that is fire. So hold on, let me make sure I'm sharing over here. All right, so hopefully everybody should be able to see my screen. Oh, darn it, I did not connect Instagram. Let me see if it's too late. It might be too late. Hold on, y'all. And I think I need to press record. Yep, I'm gonna press record so everybody can watch the replay. Hold on, y'all, let me see. I don't think it's gonna let me though, but we'll see. Get booked. Okay, public and stream key. I pray that you guys had an incredible weekend as well. I had a great weekend as well too, y'all. Just want y'all to know. Okay, yeah, no, it's not gonna let me do it. That's okay. That's all right. We're just gonna stream on all the other platforms. And so hopefully everybody should be able to, let me see, share. There we go, perfect. Everybody should be seeing my screen. I didn't mean to share that, share the wrong page. So everybody should be seeing my screen. If you guys can see my screen, just let me know. All right, let's see here. Hopefully you guys can see it. You see what it says on the screen. Get booked, get paid, get seen. Okay. Oh, it doesn't say any options to unmute. Wait a minute. I wonder if I selected the wrong option. No, yeah, you can, yeah, it shows that you guys, oh, I can allow you to have audio and video. So I didn't know that. Oh, wait, hold on. So it says I have to just manually allow you guys, but that's cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, perfect. So let's go ahead and get into the presentation for everybody who is here. I am so excited and so thrilled. I will be coming back periodically just to check to see what you guys are saying. If you have questions and things of that nature. Again, today we're talking about getting booked, getting seen, getting paid on the platforms, and also just kind of like understanding what the platforms want and what they need, but also how to leverage it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just being very transparent. If we are not focusing on more visibility, if we are not focused on getting on more platforms, guys, we are killing our businesses. And the only way to get new leads is to be more visible. And we're going to talk a little bit about all of that. Now, everybody, if you are watching on any of the social media streaming platforms, you want to make sure that you join us. Tomorrow, we have our Money Mondays, And so that is going to be phenomenal in its own. Hold on, let me see. How can I spotlight this? Okay, I think that still leaves me on the thing. Okay, perfect. So Money Mondays is tomorrow, and tomorrow I am going to be teaching. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to teach on yet because I'm just really paying attention to where many of our community members are. But just know that I always do my best to bring you something that's going to bring you value and increase your bottom line. And so tomorrow's our Money Mondays. You want to join in. It's a chance for everybody to also share their wins as well as ask questions. And so if you have a specific question that you need help with, this is why you want to join into the Money Mondays. Also, if you are here today and you have properly introduced yourself into the school platform, that means you joined the community. You then post it directly onto the platform, introducing yourself. I'll open up a free gift. All you got to do is shoot me a message. If you guys do not have access to this course, it is literally located in the courses. And so all you have to do is go into the courses and or classroom, shall I say. When you scroll down, you're going to see something that says $300 in restaurant vouchers. You can get those for absolutely no additional cost. You just have to activate them. But if you want that, just shoot me a message if you have properly introduced yourself on the platform. Okay. So a little bit about before we get into this presentation. First things first, as you guys know, I am an author and I have been leveraging my book to get me on multiple platforms since 2015. Well, really like 2012, honestly. I wrote my very first book in 2012, and I specifically wrote the book with the intention. Y'all can still see my screen okay, right? I just want to make sure because wait a minute. I think I'm sharing the wrong screen. If you guys are watching on, okay, what is this? No, school is correct. So y'all are seeing the right thing. But then I feel like on whatchamacallit, I'm sharing the wrong thing. So let me try it again. But I wrote my very first book in 2012. And the reason why I wrote the book was because I understood even at that time that being an author of the right book can absolutely get you positioned and platformed on so many ways. And so I used that book as a tool to actually get me booked on more stages. And it worked like immediately. And mind you, at the time, I wasn't even a business coach. I was literally using my book to get me on stages so that I could recruit more people to get into my network marketing company. And so I never became an author because I wanted to sell books. I literally became an author because I wanted to leverage. Okay. And ever since then, even since I left out of the network marketing space, I still leverage my book to this day. I still leverage my book to this day. And so it's very important that you understand the power behind having the right book. It could literally change your life if you truly understand how to use it. Does that make sense, everybody? And shout out to AJ in the chat. Let me see who else is in the chat. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. AJ, John in the chat. Thank you so much for everybody. Lexi in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. And so hopefully that makes sense. So what I did with my book, y'all, is I pitched my book. And so I want to give you an example of how the right book, and if you are not an author, one of the benefits of being in this program is that you actually get access to our Write a Book in 3 Days course, where literally I show you if you just get buckled down, focused, you can write your book in 3 days or less. Like literally, hey, Angie, what's going on, Jamal? Good evening. You can get your book done in 3 days or less. Like it does not have to take a long time, but having the right book can open up doors on so many ways. So anyways, here's my scenario. I had a chance to speak in front of an audience, which I typically get opportunities to do that because I pitch myself, right? So this particular event had 100 people that were there. And when I found out, because I always ask the person who's putting the event together, how much are people spending to come to this event? Why? Because it allows me to immediately identify like I won't say quality, but you know, like people that pay $500 for a 1-day event, that means that they're showing me that they're a little bit more interested in investing in themselves. Does that make sense? Everybody drop their $ in the chat. So I found out on average, some people paid more than $500, but the average price point was $500. And so what I did was, instead of going to this event, which most authors do, trying to sell books, I said, these are all people who have pre-qualified themselves to be clients, right? Somebody that pays $500 to go to an event, they'll pay you $5,000, right? You just got to give them the right reason, right? And so I said, instead of me going to try to lug 100 books, I'm going to bring 25 books, and I'm only going to give these books to people who have qualified themselves. And so what I did, by the way, I only was given about 10 minutes to speak. And this is another thing, like we think that we have to have an hour to speak. We think that we have to have, you know, all this long amount of time. Guys, no, in 10 minutes, I have been able to walk away in audiences with the most leads, with the most opportunity. And by the way, putting on events is very expensive. And so for me, when I get in front of someone's audience, I'm not trying to get in front of someone's audience that they've spent thousands and thousands of dollars to get in front of right? That they've put all this time and effort in and try to pitch them my product unless we have created some kind of an agreement up front. Maybe I'm giving them a percentage, but 9 times out of 10, because I do events, I just don't do that. I don't pitch people's audiences any of my for sale items. And so what I do is I allow a specific number of people to pre-qualify themselves. And so what I did is 25 people in the audience were given the opportunity, first come, first serve, to book a call with me. Mind you, I only get 10 minutes. I only get 10 minutes. And so in the process of this 10 minute talk, I have put together a strategy so that, because you're not going to remember what I said in 10 minutes. Hello? Can I get a amen, somebody? You're not going to remember. 9 times out of 10, if you're speaking at an event and there's multiple speakers, most attendees, even at big events where there's multiple speakers and maybe you even get an hour, I'm not going to remember what it is that you've said. And so for me, I am not focused on trying to necessarily make sure everybody remembers all the steps I've said in my 10-minute talk. I'm trying to get the leads. I'm trying to get the people who want to work with me, right? And so with that stated, I am going to do something that requires people to pre-qualify themselves. So what I did, I said, listen, I only have 25 books available. This is what you got to do. I told them to text a number, follow the prompts, schedule an appointment. If you book a call with me before I am done today, out of the 25 books, you'll get a copy of this book. You'll also get, like I might throw in another incentive. And soon as you book your call, what I want you to do is go ahead and raise your phone. So I did it while I was doing the talk because, again, I know that most people are not going to remember half of what I've said. It is called repetitious information. And so with those 25 people, y'all, I had only about 13 or so people who showed up for the call. Not everybody showed up, but I have a closing ratio of 50%. Remember, I'm speaking in front of an audience of people who paid $500 to be at a one-day event. They already pre-qualified themselves. This is not me speaking in front of an audience where nobody paid any money. It was a free. And in them situations, I switch it up. But this is how, when you get booked, you got to know what to do with the booking. And the reason why I'm sharing this up front is because many of us that are listening, we just want to get on the stage. We just want to get on the podcast. We just want to get on the platforms. But once we get on them, are you properly leveraging them? Do you have your system set up so that you know how to follow up? Does that make sense? Everybody type this in the chat. The fortune is in the follow-up. And so it's very important that you understand it. And look, and by the way, in front of that audience, I did over $10,000 in sales from the follow-up, okay? From the follow-up, not from the initial, because of course, I'm pitching on somebody else's stage, so I didn't make $10,000 right then. But when I had all of those calls scheduled, your girl did $10,000 in sales. Amen. All right. So the 2026 shift, we are halfway through over the 2026 year. And right now, let me tell you something. Tonight is literally about execution. You've got to be willing to execute. The opportunity is for you to get on the platforms, right? And so we want to make sure that we show you how to do it. We have something available where we're going to open it up to 10 people on tonight. We actually have some people. I'm excited. John, let me shout out John Mann. So John Mann is a part of our visibility program, and it's a warming up process. I just want y'all to know, but we have pitched John so far to probably about 30 different platforms. We're of course waiting for people to get back with us, but we are pitching him actively as we are on this webinar. John is getting pitched out there. And so we're going to be looking for 10 people that are interested in us helping them to get on the platforms. Is that cool? If that's something you are excited to know more about, I just want you to just drop the $ in the chat. So we'll talk to you more about that later on. Now, when you get booked, this is important. And another thing is, y'all, like, again, going back to what I said, like, a lot of us just want to get on the stage. We just want to get on the platforms. I just want to get on the podcast. I want to speak at the workshop. But we have no systems in place. Jamal says, yes, drop that $ in the chat, right? Jamal says, I'm one of those 10. I love it. Guys, you got to have a system. And you have to have a system where you're following up. Guys, the fortune is in the follow-up. So when I get on someone's platform, an OPP, other people's platforms, my intention is to take that opportunity to turn into more leads that I follow up with. I was just at an event yesterday that I emceed at for one of my good friends who's launching her life coaching business. I had 2 women come up to me at that event and said, I get your emails every single week. Yeah, because the fortune is in the follow-up, right? And so do y'all have a system in place for that? Now, let me tell you how many follow-ups it actually takes today for you guys to actually make money. So it's not just only getting on the stage, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to be following up. We cannot just expect I'm going to get on this stage one time and then all of a sudden I'm going to make $1 million. It doesn't work that way. Some of you guys that are watching this video, you've been watching me for years, just like she said. Oh, I get your emails every week. Mind you, both of these women had told me have not invested into the visibility package. I don't get offended. I just know that it takes some people more touch points. The average person takes up to 8 touch points. And a touch point means, for example, you telling them, this is how much my program costs. How do you want to get started? Not just them only hearing you say, I have a program, or you posted it on social media. A lot of people think if I just post on my social media enough times, my premium package, people are going to sign up. Guys, how many of y'all know that does not work? That doesn't work, right? And so you got to be able to tell them this is how much it costs. Here is how you get started. Guess what? I'm going to make that available for you guys today. I'm going to offer every single one of you guys that are watching the webinar. Now, if you're watching on social media, you're going to have to join into the webinar because we're going to be logging off soon. You guys are about to get some real good stuff. And so you got to be a part of the community to actually get this training for the free ski, right? But guess what? You got to join. Right? And you're going to get an offer. A reminder, you're going to get some emails that's going to remind you, hey, listen, I know you didn't get started, but do you want to go ahead and get started? How many of y'all have that set up in place? Text messages. You want to share results. I'm going to share some testimonials, not just from the presentation, but you're going to get some emails about testimonials. You're going to learn about the benefits. And this is very important. A lot of people don't know how to tell the benefit of their program. They only know how to tell the different things that you're going to do. And the truth is, like, think about it. If you're booking an all-inclusive trip to Jamaica, you don't really want to hear all this stuff that says, okay, first you got to pack your bags, then you got to go on these particular websites to do this and do that. No, people just want to hear about the final destination. And so you got to know how to share the benefit or the result of your products. Answer a common objection. Right? So maybe in your emails and your text messages, you might respond to something that you know you typically get when people, why they don't get started. Educational tip. I'm going to give you guys some value here, but guess what? In the follow-ups, we're going to do that too. And so this is what your follow-up series needs to look like. You need to make sure you are tapping into these different touch points, and you're going to be tapping into these different touch points separately. So not all in one email are you going to include all of this, not just in one text message. Shucks, you might call the person and leave a voice message. If you have the right software in place, it can do a lot of this stuff for you on automation, right? So today what we're going to talk about is why you need to get more visible and how to increase your profits. We're also going to talk about how to get more visibility opportunities, knowing that people are literally looking for you right now. They want to know your story. They want to hear from you. Hello. And you're going to hear about the BPC Visibility Blueprint, okay? And then also we're going to talk about our 30-day visibility game plan, where we are guaranteeing you that even if it's beyond 30 days, we're going to get you placed on some platforms, okay? And then if anybody does have any questions afterwards, we will let you ask those questions. Now, just so you guys know as well, this is, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, any of the platforms, Kick, I'm streaming on Kick, y'all. If you're watching on any of the platforms, you do need to go ahead and join the community by going to bookprofitsclub.com. This is where you'll be able to see the full presentation. Once you join and you are approved, you'll be able to see the link that says that we're live literally right now. We're live right now. And then you'll be able to watch the rest of this training. So there will be a portion of where we will cut off during this presentation. Now, excuse me, Lord, y'all hear me burping in the mic. No, excuse the sister. You know what I'm saying? The sister been eating good today. But anyway, so y'all look, there's a difference between authors, speakers, and coaches who don't get booked and those who do. I'm just telling you guys, this is a picture of me and John C. Maxwell. Does anybody know who that is? Y'all know who he is? Just type 1 in the chat. Type 1 in the chat if you know who John C. Maxwell is. Well, I got a chance to actually speak on the same stage as John C. Maxwell. And what's funny is that this was an event of somebody that I personally know that was doing the event. And baby, I did not get just picked to be a speaker. I had to literally let them know, hey, listen, I would love to be a speaker at your event. How many of you guys have ever been in a position where you've seen someone who's doing an event, or you know someone doing an event? By the way, doing events are very, very expensive, guys. Right. And so for me, especially if I can be able to chip in, how can I contribute? How can I be a partner? Because I really want to get the leads, to be quite honest. Right. And so I had an opportunity to pitch myself. I bought my VIP ticket to come to this event as well. I did not go for free. And I got a chance to speak on the stage. By the way, to just be a VIP, I think it was like $1,500. $1,500 to be an attendee, but because I wanted to support the event. But this was an opportunity that got me in front of more people. The difference between people who get booked and those who don't are the people who are getting booked are putting themselves out there. Guys, you cannot wait for somebody to come and say, hey, can you come and speak at our event? You've got to be willing to put yourself out there. I love this story where I had a client, we were doing a strategy session, and the first thing he told me, he was like, you know, I sent my stuff to Oprah and nobody has reached out to me yet. How many of us would love to be on Oprah's podcast, Oprah's book club, Oprah's show? I don't care. Put me in the magazine, child, because you know when Oprah recommends you, it's a wrap. And the fact that Oprah has that kind of a platform of influence, she also takes her platform seriously, right? Does this make sense? And so if you are sending your stuff to some of these major platforms that are spent years, decades, etc., my question is, when they Google you, what pulls up? Because many of us, we want to go straight to the top. And I'm going to be honest, some of the bigger challenges that we have with some of our clients with pitching them is because they don't have any experience on stages. And so we mix it up. We pitch to the higher platforms, but we also pitch to smaller, because the key is this: we need more people talking about you. When people search your name, it needs to be more of you, especially if you got one of them typical, you know, like normal names. Like it's some people I'll look up and I'll see it's somebody else with their name and it's not them. Like, you need to be making sure that you have more articles, more podcasts, more platforms talking about you, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you do want to get on the platforms that have built massive influence, spent decades building, you have had to earn trust in other platforms. Does that make sense? And so that's the thing. Like, we've got to make sure that, listen, like, posting on Instagram and Facebook is great, but if nobody else is posting about you, then that means that those people that are looking to find information about you, it's not giving them the easy peasy feeling, let's get them on the platform. Am I making sense, everyone? Just drop a $sign in the chat. Am I making sense? Drop a $sign in the chat if I'm making sense, right? So you've got to make sure you're positioning. And this is the thing. I don't care where you start. Start somewhere. Make sure you've got articles. Like, some of the stuff that we're doing for our visibility clients is we're just getting them positioned on some platforms so that they can start, hey, look who I got booked with. Look who's interviewing me. Because the more that people see other people talking about you, the more they believe about what you're saying. Now, you might be saying, well, Taria, I am booked. Because we will have some people that will say, listen, I'm booked. I'm on the platforms. I'm on the stages. People are seeing me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And guess what, guys? Guess what? But they're still not making any profits. And so this is the question that I have. Are you wanting to be booked and busy, or booked, busy, blessed, and banked? Because the truth is that if you are getting booked and you're not making profits, guys, a booking without a back end is just an applause. So that means you're on there maybe just only promoting your book, which I've seen people do. Guys, let me tell you something. Do not get on somebody's podcast, and even if it's not a book, it's a product. And all you're doing is pitching, trying to sell, sell, sell. No. You know who do that a lot? No shade, no tea. But y'all know I watch a lot of pods. It's a rapper that does this all the time. Every podcast he get on, all he want to do is promote his products. But he does still give really amazing information and content. But honey, if it's one thing we know about Master P, is Master P gonna be on somebody's show promoting his rap snacks, his oodles and noodles, his all the things he's got. And sometimes it can be a little bit off-putting, right? And so when you get on these podcasts, your purpose is not to get on a podcast and sell. By the way, these podcasts, these stages, these media outlets, they have spent a lot of time and money building up an audience that's coming to their platform to want to learn. This audience is not getting on the pod because they want to be sold. They're getting on the platforms, they're coming to the conferences, they're getting on the media because they want to learn. So when you get on someone's stage, you got to be giving good value, right? You've got to be giving good value and creating a way for people to follow up with you, creating a way for people to learn more information. Many of you guys, your favorite public speaker or motivational speaker is not your favorite motivational speaker because you only heard them one time. They're your favorite because you went and looked them up and you keep on watching their stuff. Does that make sense? So not only do you need to have a back end funnel, you need to have a follow-up process, you need to be collecting leads, and you need to be giving good value when you get on these stages, okay? Now, why do you want visibility? And this is something that is a real serious question. Like, why do you want visibility, everyone? Right? Why is it important that you are on more stages? Why is this important for you guys? And I want to know, put it in the chat. Let me know, because a lot of times people do not even plan this out. This is even like when we work with our book clients. Why do you want to write the book? A lot of times people say, oh, I just want to get my story out there. To me, I never wrote a book because I cared about getting my story out there, y'all. I'm just being honest. Like, I did not care. I just know that God has a bigger purpose, and a book is going to be a tool that will allow me to help more people on a massive level much quicker. And so now that I have the book, it's important now for me to get onto the platforms so that I can then impact more people. I need visibility because I need to be able to impact more people. I need visibility because I got products and services to sell. And if I'm only selling to my current audience, then I'm going to run out of people. Yes, yes, right? There you go. The more stages I am on, the more men I can work with. There you go, right? It increases your opportunity. And I'm going to tell you, all you need is one good platform, and it can literally change the trajectory of your business. Like instantly. And some of us, we're shooting for all these big. You know how many people, it's a big event that's here in Atlanta this weekend. And it's like everybody's dream is to go speak at this event. But do y'all know there are some of you guys who could literally get in front of an audience of 100, and that could be what spearheads your business to a multi-million-dollar business. Why do you want visibility? John, thank you for participating, because we got people watching and I'm still waiting on y'all to type in the reason why y'all want to be visible. But maybe it's because you've never sat down and thought about it. You just want to get on stage. You just want to talk. You just want to be interviewed, right? But we have to really think about these things, guys, right? Every single time that you speak, though, let me just make sure y'all, if y'all have not heard me say this, you should be collecting coins or contacts. All right, I want to reach and help more women. All right, heal. I love it. More platforms, more opportunities to reach my audience. Absolutely. Every time you speak, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what platform it is. You see me right here? You see me right here? This is us speaking in Canada on the right. Speaking in Canada. You see what I did? Text 10K book to, listen, I only had 10 minutes to speak. I'm collecting leads every single time I speak. My goal, because I know that in that short period of time that I have with this audience, y'all not going to remember most of the stuff that I said. A lot of this stuff is not going to necessarily stick with you forever. It's repetitious information. So I am here to collect coins or contacts. First, though, is I'm collecting the contacts. And then with proper follow-up, because to me, I don't count book sales as the coins. I count the premium programs, my core programs. That's what I mean when I say collecting the coins. And so in order to collect the coins, though, you have to build trust. How do you build trust? By repetitious information. You got to stay in front of those people, right? Now, a little bit about myself, guys. I'm a 2-time TEDx speaker, founder of Book Profits Media, Author All Stars Magazine. Book Profits Media is our company that pitches you guys. Author All Stars Magazine is my digital magazine. By the way, if you're an author and you have not submitted your article for Author All Stars, like, you should definitely do so, baby, because you know that there's no cost to be an Author All Star. That is literally a platform that can promote you for free, right? It's a free platform. And depending upon your article, you may be selected to be one of our top 50 Author All-Stars, right? The Vision Impact Network, this is an OTT network where we are going to be on all the major platforms, as well as, of course, Book Profits Club. And so shout out to everybody who's a part of the Book Profits Club family. I've spoken in more than 15 countries. The largest audience I've spoken in front of is over 10,000 people, y'all. And one of the things that I have truly learned is that when you get on those stages, you want to make sure you walk off the stage having left impact, but also created ways for people to stay in touch with you. The person who knows how to build a database when they're speaking is the one who's going to stay in business. I'm telling you this, y'all. You want to be able to stay in business for the long haul, you should always be collecting new contacts, period. When you stop collecting contacts, that's when you have sold the business. Amen, someone? When you stop collecting the contacts, that's when you have retired. Okay? Outside of that, your number one objective every single day is getting in front of new contacts, right? So anyway, I have been blessed to speak on some major stages in front of some of the biggest speakers out there. Also, I've spoken in multiple countries, as I've told you. I do an annual event in Ghana. I also do an annual event in Dubai, which we are currently looking for speakers in. We have one more speaking spot for Ghana this year, as well as we are looking for speakers who want to come to Dubai. So if you're interested, all you got to do is send me a message in the school community and I'll send you the link. Now, the reason why I'm a coach, though, is because what I had noticed through the years of me being in this space well, first of all, I think I was just always, how many of y'all know that are in the coaching industry, like coaching was just always going to be something you did? I never wanted to call myself coach because unfortunately, like the coaching industry, information technology industry, whatever you want to call it, has gotten a bad rap because there's so many people out here coaching on stuff that they actually don't do. And so I used to be like, don't call me no coach. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is this is what I do. I've loved being in this space. And anybody, all of y'all that are saying me, you probably were just like me when you were coming up. They called me bossy. But it wasn't that I was bossy, child. I just had all these ideas of how I could help people. And I wasn't afraid to tell people that this is what you need to do. Hello? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't bossy. I was just trying to help the world. That's it. And so, I mean, I've always been in this space of creating these opportunities, but I decided specifically to work with speakers and coaches because, first of all, I had helped all these people to become authors. And for me, I was thinking that, okay, once you get this book, you're going to be able to go out here to the world and kill it. But the truth is that I realized that a lot of people don't know how to market themselves. And also many of the authors that I were working with, they were only focusing on trying to sell a book. And remember, y'all, I never became an author to sell books. I literally only became an author. At the time, I was still a top income earner in my network marketing company. The only reason why I wanted to write a book was because I wanted to be able to go into certain networking events where when you start saying that you're in a network marketing company, or some of them call pyramids, they immediately get turned off. I wanted to leverage the book to show people that, hey, I've got value to bring. And so I started pitching myself as the author of this particular title, which opened up opportunities for me to speak. Does that make sense, everyone? And so I noticed that a lot of speakers, a lot of coaches, a lot of authors were not really understanding how to take their business to the next level. And if I could even add this in as well, many of us are working way too hard. Low-hanging fruit type of things. Trying to pitch everything under $100 and wondering why you are overworked and underpaid. Can I get an amen? And so this is important, guys, because you're going to learn some really good information that I believe, if you just really wrap your heads around this, is going to truly help you to build a 7-figure business working 2 to 4 hours per day. It doesn't take a lot of time. And now that's outside of your coaching sessions, but I'm talking about 2 to 4 hours per day marketing your business. So the things that you're going to need to have in place. And if you don't have these things, that's okay. You can work on them. It is a process and you ain't going to have it overnight, but you need to have tools to help you automate your business. So do you have a CRM? Do you have a, text message? Do you have capture page software? Some of us might have like an individual website, but at this day and age, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, like I don't really have no website anymore. I literally only use capture pages. That is because my number one goal is to collect coins or contacts. Websites do not collect contacts. What websites do is get people to click around and get all unfocused all over the place, right? So you need to be having tools to automate your business. Do you have a keynote talk? So for me, if someone books me to speak, I have 3 specific topics that I speak on, but they're literally all the same. Like my topics are literally all the same. I just titled them different. So my talk is always going to be the same. And 9 times out of 10, my presentation is going to be the presentation that you guys are looking at right now. I have a signature talk that I don't switch up. And this is because I don't want to be known for all things. I want when people come to me, oh, you need help with your book? You need help with marketing yourself? Taria is the girl. So do you have a keynote signature talk that allows you to sell your product? A capture page? Right? If you go to bookprofitsclub.com, you'll see that essentially I've updated even that site to now take you to school, because let me tell you something that's also fresh and fly. Let me tell you what people want: community. What do people want most? They want to be a part of something, a movement, something where they can feel like they belong. And so instead of me just only having y'all register for a free masterclass, I now have everybody come register and join the community. It's free to join. And guess what? I get your name, I get your email and your phone number. Now I'm able to follow up, and I can do an automated message to inbox you as well. And so you got to have something. You got to have a technique. And now what we're doing is we're testing out this technique where, listen, if you're watching us on social media and whatnot, if you want to watch the webinar, guess what you got to do? You got to log into the school community so you can get full access to the webinar. Isn't that pretty cool? A profitable success funnel. So one of the things that we're going to be updating too, because normally we have you register for the webinar, which we may still do it in that way. And then we will also offer you an upsell to purchase my books. So I have 2 new books that are coming out this month. They're supposed to come out last month, yeah, but it's been a lot going on. But we got Freed that's coming out, and then From Book to Booked. Both of these books are coming out. And this is a part of the success funnel, so that when someone registers for my free webinar, they can then get an opportunity to upgrade to my books. But then I also have 2 additional opportunities for you guys to join. One is to be a part of my community and upgrade. And then we have our visibility package. But y'all, I'm not out here trying to sell 20 different products. And no, if you like, for example, let me just tell you how you free your life of like stress and sometimes I might have someone come to me and say, hey, Taria, can you just design my cover? No, I'm just going to connect you to a cover designer, because for the amount of time that it's going to take for me to book you, I could have just closed the client at $10,000. And so you got to have a success funnel, which we're going to talk more about. A media kit. Now, if you guys do not have a media kit yet, some of you guys don't because you don't really have a lot of media. As we start getting you booked on more platforms, guess what you want to do? You want to make sure that you're continuously adding that to your media profile. And then you need to have a coach. Guys, if you don't have someone that's showing you how to do the next thing and see from an outside space, you got to get you a coach. But also, let me tell you, it says a coach, not coaches. I had a young lady. Can I be really transparent? It's one of my coaching clients right now. I'm not going to say any specific names, but I know for a fact that she is listening to someone else. And because she is listening to someone else, and because many coaches may do stuff differently, she is getting frustrated because she's creating stuff that I never told her to do. But she's paying me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, but then listening to someone else who is teaching her an entirely different technique. Everybody, I want y'all to understand. I want y'all to put this in the chat. Nothing. Because a confused mind does nothing. Guys, in this world of coaches, where everybody is a coach, you also have to understand that you got to pick who your champion is going to be. Because if you're listening to multiple different people tell you how to grow your coaching business, it is almost a guarantee they all got different techniques. And so I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, you literally are setting us back. All these calls we done did, coaching sessions, and you did that. I never told you to do that. And so you got to figure out who is going to be your champion. And I want everybody to know this, like, not everybody is your client. And that is okay. Like, I don't ever get upset because I really care about people progressing. And so for me, I am at the point where if you are working with another coach, you can't even work with me, because I already know it is going to contradict, because the way that I do stuff may not necessarily be the same way. In fact, I don't follow what a lot of other coaches teach. I don't even be knowing a lot of these coaches. One of my homegirls always like, you know this person, you know that person, you know. No, I just focus on what has worked for me, and I teach y'all exactly what I have done to earn millions of dollars in this coaching industry, right? So anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about your leads, because remember, every time you get on these platforms, guys, your goal should be to collect coins or contacts, right? So when you collect these contacts, these are now leads. So a cold lead is going to be someone who goes from following you to now being on your email list. So anybody that joins into the community, by the way, we have 100 and now 90. We are almost at 200 members. I think we're at 194 or 196 members, right? Not every single person that's a member is a warm lead. Know why? Because they've joined the community, but they haven't showed up to the Monday night sessions or the onboarding. So everybody that's on here today, if this is like your first time seeing me on a webinar, you have moved up from cold to warm. Now, some of you guys have seen me a couple of times. You just waiting to jump in there, right? So you are a hot lead. That means that this is not your first time seeing a webinar, right? You've been plugged in. You've been looking at the stuff. You say, you know what? I think I'm going to do this tonight. You become a hot lead. And then once you are hot, then you become a customer. Every single day, we should have a focus of getting at least 5 cold leads into our communities or into our free giveaways or into our systems every day. That should be the goal. How do we do that? Well, this is something that I teach you guys in the BPC program of how to be able to identify your success schedule. But every single day, outside of you being on other platforms, doing other webinars, we should be focusing on 5 leads per day. That's 150 people coming into your ecosystem every single month. Does that make sense, everyone? Drop the $ in the chat. So when you're getting on the platforms, we want to be creating opportunity that people are like, oh my gosh, this is so great. How can I get more information, right? Now, if you are watching the live stream, y'all, for those who are watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all the things, we're about to end the live stream. So if you are watching on the live stream and you want to continue to watch, you're going to need to go to bookprofitsclub.com. You see what I just did, y'all? What am I doing? Because you know what? This stream is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on LinkedIn. It's going to stay there. But what am I doing right now? I am collecting what, y'all? I would never tell y'all to do a thing that I don't do myself. And so I'm collecting contact information. So anybody that's watching this, if you are not watching in the school community, this is your last chance. You want to go ahead to join by going to bookprofitsclub.com. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end this stream for everybody watching. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on. Let me let them see my face. Thank you guys. So come on over here to Book Profits Club and you could be a part of the final training. I hope this is good so far. Let's go. So now what's fire about